Hello guys, I'm Psycho, and in this video I want to show you how farming the keep level 2 on MP10 is possible. The build on the video itself was basically inspired by Maldron, who presented a build where he did actually the same, because farming this area in this way is apparently the most efficient way to get as many legendaries as you can. Even though Maldron did not invent the build, he was probably the first who went public with it. And yeah, the idea is to just kill white mobs, so trash mobs, because on MP10 you have a 100% chance of a bonus drop, which means if an enemy drops an item, there's a 100% chance that it will drop a second item. And in this way you can run very fast through the keeps and get very much legendaries. In this video I want to show you the theory at first, and in another video you will see how this build actually works in practice. Okay, so let's at first go through my skills. As my main attacking skill I use Zombie Charger with Zombie Bears. I think this is pretty obvious because it's the best damage dealer the Witch Doctor has, I think. And it also has nice splash, you know, the bears are running through enemies and can kill a lot of mobs. Then I use two other very obvious skills. First one is Spirit Walk with the rune Honored Guest. This is kind of a very important mana regenerator as well if you use this rune, and it's also nice to walk very fast so that you can proceed very fast through the dungeon, and it also makes it possible for you to escape from difficult situations. Another obvious skill is Soul Harvest with Vengeful Spirit. Soul Harvest is good for getting this intelligence buff, 130 intelligence for each monster you hit, so this adds up to 650 intelligence in total. And the rune I use is Vengeful Spirit, which is an attacking skill. You will see that the cooldown will reset very fast from Soul Harvest, so you can use it very often. And I personally don't regard it mainly as a buff skill, but also as an attacking skill, because if you compare the weapon damage numbers, that's 230 weapon damage. This is quite equal to Zombie Charger, which means Soul Harvest is, kind of a free wave of zombies. Another advantage of Soul Harvest is that it has no casting animation, which means you can use it parallelly with Zombie Charger. So you can just spawn zombies like this and then parallelly use Soul Harvest and just continue spamming zombie bears. Okay, this is actually wrong here, I noticed. I will come to this later. So, for the sense of logic, it makes more sense to go through my passive skills now. Here I have also three very obvious choices, I think. The first one is Jungle Fortitude, which reduces your damage taken. This is quite important on MP10 because the monsters really do a good bunch of damage, and you want to minimize it, but I will come to this later when I talk about my gear. Other two ones are damage pushers and Gruesome Feast gives you bonuses when you collect health globes. This is also very important to keep your mana up, because each health globe offers you 10% of your mana, and it also is a massive increase in your damage, since 10% intelligence for 10 seconds, that's quite a lot. And you kill so much white mobs that you do pick up a lot of health globes, so this is a very good skill. And this, Grave Injustice, is not only good for replenishing your mana and your life. The best thing about it is that it reduces your cooldowns. So you can use these skills over and over again. Cooldowns will reset very fast, you will see this in the practice. And yeah, this is a very good spell. And you're killing lots of trash mobs, so yeah, very good skill. Now let's go through my last three active skills. There I made three rather unusual choices. First one, I use it as my, so to say, primary attack, even though Zombie Charger is more or less the primary attack. Here I have Devouring Swarm. Locust Swarm, you know how it works. You hit one enemy and then it jumps from one enemy to the next, and with this rune you gain 37 mana every enemy that is affected. This might not seem much, but if you think about it, it turns out to be an incredibly good mana regenerator, because if you hit like 10 mobs or so, you will get 370 mana, and you just use 100, so let's say right about 200 mana. And then you can regenerate mana very fast, and you always, find those big trash mob packs where it can just jump from one enemy to another and hit very fast. Hit very much mobs, and therefore replenishes your mana very fast. Next is this, Grasp of the Dead. Slowing is nice, damage over time is nice, and the rune I have is that every enemy who dies in this area has a 10% chance to produce a health globe or a zombie dog. Zombie dog, well, is nice to have, is not that important, but it's okay. But the good thing is the health globes, because this, kind of powers this passive. It gives you mana, it gives you additional damage, very nice. And the slowing can also become quite handy, because sometimes you want to get away from fallen maniacs, and this slowing effect helps you a lot. And the last choice I made is Mass Confusion, Mass Hysteria. This is probably quite underrated skill, or at least, it's not used very often. What it actually does, it confuses your enemies, and then up to 6 enemies that are not confused are stunned. This is basically only for keeping fallen maniacs away from you. Because sometimes you're badly surrounded, and the zombie bears are not that accurate, so it's not sure you will hit all the fallen maniacs before they actually hit you. And the fallen maniacs are the main source and the most dangerous source of damage, so you want to make sure you won't get hit by them. And therefore I use this. This is especially handy when there is kind of a trash mob mixture, some skeletons, and then in between there are some fallen maniacs. Then about 50% of the mobs will get confused anyways, and then, as you see, 6 are stunned, and this probably ends up that all of the mobs that are surrounding you won't attack you. So which means the fallen maniacs and stuff will just stand still, they won't come any nearer to you, and then you can reposition or just kill them right away. And this is very good for protection. You will see this in action in the practice part. This is a very nice spell. Another option in this slot for keeping fallen maniacs away from you is, where do we have it? Here, Horrify. You could use any rune that you want. There are some clear advantages of Horrify. First, it has no casting animation, which means you can just cast it while spamming zombie dogs or whatsoever. And because you will see then I use a very slow weapon, and this casting time can sometimes be a problem. Most of the time not, but sometimes. Another advantage is you have some very nice bonuses from this. For example, this 100 additional armor can be very handy. Clear disadvantage is it has less area of effect. Even if you use this rune, I think it still has less effect than Mass Confusion. And another effect is that, well, all the enemies will run away. As I said, this is very handy when you have a mixture of trash mobs with, skeletons and some fallen maniacs in between. But here you make all the enemies run away, even the enemies that you don't want to make run away. So this is not so nice. But it's basically a matter of taste. But I just stay with Mass Confusion, Mass Hysteria. Very nice for protection. In the next video I will tell you everything about the gear that I use for this run.